Hey Wargamers, today I want to talk about one of two special ethereal characters for Tau, Aun'shi. Before I do that though, I want to say thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming unit reviews, battle reports, or hobby videos for 8th edition. Alright, so I have Index Xenos 2 here. Let's get started. Aun'shi basically has always been one of these characters that is fun in the fluff, but has a hard time translating onto the tabletop. And I think they have a rule set for him in this edition that actually makes him more playable than in the past, but still he does have some obstacles to that. So his movement is 6 inches, he has a 2-up weapon skill, a 4-up ballistic skill, strength and toughness 3 with 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9. So right away you notice he has a nice amount of attacks, hitting on 2s. That's really a really good stat line for Tau, and it's really like the best stat line out of anything in the index for Tau as far as number of attacks and weapon skill. Farsight doesn't even have that number of attacks, so that's something. But he comes equipped with an honor blade, which is +2 strength, dealing 1 damage. So he's he has a strength 5 attack, which is really nice. That puts him on equal footing for the strength of attack with Farsight. And then he has a lot of the same rules that a standard ethereal has. So he has failure is not an option, allowing other Tau Empire units within 6 inches to use his leadership. He has invocation of the elements, which he can call either Calm of Tides, Storm of Fire, Sense of Stone, or Zephyr's Grace. And those all have, some application to your army, but they're not quite as good as they were in the past edition. And notably, the Sense of Stone ability basically gives them a 6-up Feel No Pain roll. That stacks or is not replacing a stimulant injector. So if you have this guy next to a Riptide or Arvana or Ivara or something with a stimulant injector, that can actually do a fairly good job of negating those Nova Reactor wounds. So that's something to note, is that with this last FAQ, Sense of Stone got better or is just as good as you thought it was, depending on your previous interpretation. But that does work with Stimulant Injector, which is nice. The things that make Aun'shi different than a standard ethereal, aside from his stat line, are that he comes with a shield generator, which he'll need because he's meant to be in the lines, in the trenches with your infantry, and having that 4-up invulnerable save will actually come in handy because he's probably going to end up in basic base contact with some enemy and will need to defend himself. So having that invul save is really nice. He also has a special rule, Blademaster, and this is kind of his signature ability, and it's a really nice ability. It's a solid trait that just would be really good on Farsight or really good on some more durable or aggressive units, but on Aun'shi it's not as amazing as it sounds to begin with. And what it does is basically at the beginning of each fight phase, so your fight phase or your opponent's fight phase, it allows you to either have your attacks be AP -2 or have Aun'shi reroll failed invulnerable saves. So having that reroll invulnerable saves is really, really good, and I think that's really the one that you're going to stick with most times if Aun'shi is being hit at all. And the reason is that although he's hitting at an AP -2 with strength 5, he's still only one guy and he still only has 5 attacks. And so he's going to work out to be hitting or killing about, 1 Marine equivalent each round of combat. And that's something that's better than nothing, certainly, but it's not this fantastic ability that's going to completely take care of an assault all by itself. Even if you have a bunch of Fire Warriors alongside him, it's not going to make that big of a difference. And so keeping Aun'shi alive longer and allowing him to give the benefits of his leadership and allow that infantry unit to stay there longer and not suffer as many casualties from morale is going to be more important than him dealing out a wound or two. So that's it. I think tactically, Aun'shi has some really interesting applications. Your first instinct might be to put him with Fire Warriors, just like I said, but really most of his abilities that make him special, the Blademaster ability, the invulnerable save, those aren't going to come into play with Fire Warriors. He's going to be, you know, just one guy in a sea of guys, and it's not really going to make a difference. But for Kroot, he actually can make a difference. He's going to be able to use those abilities more proactively with Kroot than with Fire Warriors or any of your other infantry. He's really going to do well with Kroot. They're going to benefit from his leadership more. They're going to benefit from the sense of stone more. They're going to want to be in combat in some ways, so he's actually going to be able to use his Blademaster ability more than just defensively. So really, I think Aun'shi works best with Kroot in this edition. The unfortunate thing is that he can't deploy with Kroot. He doesn't have any type of infiltrator ability or anything like that. He just deploys as normal. So the challenge is to get him to the Kroot. Yeah, but even in that sense, there's still a lot of the things that make him appealing are just as available in a cheaper standard ethereal. So I don't think that that's a reason not to take Aun'shi, but I don't think it's a reason to take Aun'shi either. You can get a lot of the utility that you would from Aun'shi with the standard guy, just because you're not going to want to get in combat that much. So overall, I like Aun'shi. I think this is the best rule set he's had in a long time, but he just doesn't offer that much more than a standard ethereal in most cases. And for that reason, I don't think you're going to see him very often. But let me know what you think. If you're using him and it's just, you know, he's your MVP every time, let me know. If you're using him and he's sitting on the bench every time, let me know that too. But like I said, thanks for watching, and of course, happy wargaming.